my postpartum journey. It's so different this time around. Hi, welcome back to the vlog. If this is your first time watching one of my vlogs, hi, I'm Kimmy and I'm excited to spend the day with you today. I'm a mom. I have two kids, a 10-month-old and an almost 3-year-old, and I'm also a holistic health and wellness coach. I have switched up my routine. I think it was like about time. I'll talk more about that later. Having my decaf coffee. I switched to decaf a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, I've noticed like the biggest difference ever. I feel like I'm way less stressed. I deal with stress a little bit better, and I feel like I'm not all over the place. I feel like I'm more centered and actually more focused, and I feel like I have more energy, which feels like contradictive, I feel like, because coffee gives you energy. It's supposed to, like, I guess, help you focus. But for me, it's quite the opposite. So I switched to decaf coffee. I haven't even been doing matcha. I was doing like matcha and coffee. Sometimes I would just do straight matcha. I've gone through periods where I've just cut out coffee and just done matcha. And I feel like even cutting out matcha actually makes a difference. Not to say that I won't have a matcha again, because I really do enjoy matcha and it is less caffeine than coffee. But for the most part, I'm gonna stick to decaf just because I still like to have my morning beverage. But I do notice a huge difference in my mental health. I apologize for the very short intro. I realized that we were running very behind. Today's Wednesday, and they have like a toddler time at our local library, so I wanted to make sure that we got there on time. So I didn't even drink my coffee. I just threw it in the fridge and then made it into iced coffee when I got home. So I switched up my morning routine recently, and I've been trying to get up before the boys. As long as Augie only wakes up like once or twice throughout the night, he's still not sleeping all the way through the night yet, which I really don't mind. But I've realized that if I want to be able to get in a longer workout and just have more like me time, because I feel like I just don't have like my own time, because when they are napping together at the same time in the afternoon, that's my only time during the day that I'm by myself, and I have to work during that time. So I don't have any me time. So the morning is when I can take the most advantage of. And so I figure that if I get up before them, because there were some days where I would wake up at like 5, Augie would wake up at 5, and then I would get him down to sleep, and then I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep myself. And I'd just be like laying there, just like waiting to fall back asleep. And I feel like I just got to a point where I was like, why don't I just get up and just work out, instead of like, you know, just getting frustrated with myself for not being able to go back to sleep or whatever. So I've been doing that, and it's actually been so nice. I've only been doing it like a few days, but I feel like this is a good new routine for myself because now I can get in a longer workout than just 20 minutes. I can get in my meditation in the morning instead of at night. And this morning I made time to do my gratitude journal and make my to-do list. And I just had so much more time before they woke up so I could get all that stuff done. And then I don't have to worry about taking time away from them during the day. I feel like when it was just me and Gavin, you know, he had all of my attention. So if I were to do like a longer workout or something, it didn't feel like I was taking a ton of time away from him. But now that there's two of them, when I'm doing like a longer workout, if I try to do a longer workout, then I just feel like I'm taking so much time away from them when my attention is already like, you know, scattered between the two. So when it was just one, I felt like, you know, I didn't have to wake up early, and I really never did. But now at this point with two, I'm like, oh, I definitely have to start making that a habit and a priority to get those things done in the morning. And also because it's summertime here and I live in Arizona, it is so hot in the summer. I'm like starting to get very much over it. But for now, as long as we're here, getting in a walk in the morning, which is something that I really love to do, it's becoming like very difficult. So if I want to get in more movement throughout the day, I do have to do longer workouts because our walks are definitely a lot shorter than they are during the rest of the year. We're lucky throughout the rest of the year that we can go for longer walks and be outside like pretty much like every day. But during the summer, you just can't be out like past like, for walking and moving your body, you just can't be out past like 8:30. So it's just become more difficult to do that. So getting up early, getting in like a longer workout, like 30, and not like an hour workout, just like 30 to like 45-minute workouts is helping kind of fill that void, you know? Lunchtime I feel like is always just like the most hectic because it's the one meal that we all eat something like different of, and I feel like I'm just like chopping all the fruit, chopping the sliced veggies, and there is no time for me anymore to make a salad from scratch. So if I don't have something meal prepped, then, you know, I don't know what I'll do. Anyway, so we're having leftovers for lunch. I have just some roasted veggies, Brussels sprouts, carrots, sweet potato, and black beans, and then I'm just adding some spinach. Some chopped red cabbage here that I'm gonna add. Lunch. You're so curious what I'm talking about today, huh? I have this roasted red pepper cashew sauce from last night's dinner that we put on the roasted veggies, so I'm just gonna put that on. Hot sauce and some cilantro. Cilantro, like fresh herbs in general, have so many amazing benefits, especially for your digestion. But cilantro has been shown to have detoxification properties, so it can help support your body's natural detoxification properties, and it also might help to detox from heavy metals. Here is lunch, just leftovers. I feel like they save me on weekdays, truly, huh? I just got some work done while the boys were sleeping. Now I'm gonna take my supplements. I am so bad about taking my supplements. It's something that I really, really need to make a goal of because I know how important it is, especially like my postpartum journey. It's so different this time around than when I was in the postpartum phase after Gavin was born. I definitely need to be supporting my hormone health like as much as possible. So I know that taking supplements like a probiotic, supporting gut health, and then obviously taking supplements to support like your thyroid health and everything. So I love this prenatal from Needed. I also love taking sea moss. I'm not super consistent with this, but I do like it, and sea moss does have a ton of benefits, especially for if you want glowing skin. I love this E3 AFA. This is an algae supplement. It's great for energy, focus, and immune support. I genuinely notice a difference when I take this, and I love taking a probiotic. This is a probiotic plus antioxidant. It's It's from Just Thrive. I do have a discount code, so I'll link that below. One from Needed as well. This is an iron supplement, which is great to take if you're pregnant and especially like postpartum. Nap time was interesting. Augie just like barely napped. He also barely napped this morning too. I think maybe he's just overtired, and sometimes that happens and then they don't sleep for a long nap or have trouble falling asleep. So tonight should be fun. Got everything that I really needed to get done for work done before I had to go in and hold him, and even after that he didn't sleep. So anyway, now I'm gonna prep an almond milk because we're almost out. Hi! I make mine from scratch, and I do not like doing it in the morning because there's no time, so this is the perfect time of day to do it. So we're gonna make almond milk. I'm gonna do almonds and walnuts, and I don't even really measure anything anymore, but it's about like 1.5 cups of nuts to like 32 ounces of water. Definitely recommend making a double batch if you drink as much almond milk as we do, which I should be doing right now, but I'm not. Alright, so that was like half a cup. That was like a cup of almonds, and then we just did like half a cup of walnuts. And then to sweeten it, I'm gonna add dates. And then I'm gonna add a little vanilla and sea salt. And then I wanna make some overnight oats. And typically to sweeten those, I do banana instead of like maple syrup, unless I'm craving something like that tastes mapley, but I usually do banana. But today I'm gonna try doing it with dates. So I'm gonna take some of the milk, blend up some dates in there to make it like sweet, and then pour it in with the oat mixture. But I'll show you that. I just do a pinch of salt, and then this is the vanilla that I use. And when you make nut milks at home, they typically last like up to 4 days, I would say. So just keep that in mind if you only use like a little bit of almond milk, maybe like half the batch or something. But anyway, I'm gonna blend this up, and then we're gonna squeeze it through a nut milk bag. Okay, milk is prepped, and I'm gonna use the rest of the one that I already have prepped, and we're gonna make our sweet milk for our overnight oats. So we have our milk in there, and then I'm just gonna add a couple dates, like 3 of these dates, because we already have dates in the milk. We don't need to add a ton. Right? 1, 2. I'm just gonna do 2. I think that would be plenty. Some oats. Do some hemp seeds. Chia seeds in. And then I'm gonna add some peanut butter for a little peanut butter flavor, and also for some added protein. Honestly, I could have just made the oats right in this jar. Should I? You know what? Let's just do it because it's almost out. So you know what? We might as well. Right? Then I'll just rinse this out. Yeah, let's just do that. That would make sense because this is almost out. And hopefully it all fits. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to transfer it to another jar. Okay. I feel like oats are like my favorite breakfast because they're so quick and easy in the morning. Like, you don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is just add fruit and then serve. Like, that's it. So tomorrow we can put this in bowls, add some blueberries or something, and we'll have a nice, balanced, healthy breakfast that honestly only took me a few minutes to make. I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and then tomorrow it will be nice and fluffy and creamy. And then if your oats are ever like too thick the next morning, just add a little more liquid and it'll thin it out and make it really nice. But they should be nice and mushy and perfect breakfast. Dinner tonight is looking fabulous. We have some jasmine rice, a little corn and broccoli stir fry, pickled red onions, tofu, some sliced cucumber, and avocado. Okay, let's give it a try. got back from a walk. It's very hot out. But it was nice to get out for a good walk this morning. And I already gave Gavin and poured Augie's oats, but I will show you. They came out so good and creamy. And instead of putting them in a bowl, which I was going to, I'm just gonna put my toppings right inside and just eat it just right out of the jar. Do some sliced banana. And I do some frozen blueberries. And then some frozen raspberries. Love banana. Let's give it a try together. So good. And the reason why I love to sweeten things with dates is because it won't spike your blood sugar as much as like regular sugar will, or it even has a lower glycemic index than something like maple syrup or coconut sugar or something, or honey. So I try to choose dates as much as possible when I can. It doesn't work for everything, like in baking recipes and stuff, like it's not like always like a perfect replacement, but for something like this, it works. It's really good.
We should go party.
I'm not super consistent with the ice roller, but honestly, every time I do it, I am obsessed, and I wonder why I don't pull it out every day. I think because it's in the freezer and I just don't think of it, but it feels so good, especially in the summer when it's so hot. This morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. instead of 5 a.m. because I had trouble falling back to sleep after Augie woke up at like 3:50. So I woke up at 6, got in a good like 30-minute workout, which felt really good. I'm so happy to have like my longer workouts back, because I was just doing like 15-20-minute workouts, and it just feels so good to be able to move my body for longer. I love working out. It's been a huge part of my journey and my health and wellness journey, and I just really love the feeling that working out gives me, and I love to be able to do like a longer workout. I did not have time to meditate. I didn't have time to do my gratitude journal because I woke up a little bit later. So I only had time to do the workout. But honestly, even just like that little bit of time to myself to be able to get in a workout alone makes such a difference, truly. This feels so good. But I'm gonna end the vlog here. It was fun hanging out with you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe. That way you don't miss any of my future videos. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.